Hi, this is Xcocann 89 with another one of my figure reviews. This is for the import Quinn Lee figure that was solicited over a year ago, maybe closer to 2 years, but it finally arrived. So let's have a quick look at the box. I unfortunately can't pronounce the company it's coming from. I will put it up in text form. There we go. And you might be able to do a bit of Google Translate on the accessory pack, but let's move on to the figure packaging first place. This is from the Cyberpunk Fighters Club of 2099. So that's the figure's official title, Quinn Lee, not a certain other licensed character, because she is a cosplayer. If you can read the gumph, I'll bring that closer so you can have a quick look at that. Oh, the other way. Here we go. Read at your leisure. There we go. Right. So, quite nice packaging. Really like that. And there's a potential for other figures. This is obviously maybe a one-off, but there's a tease there and a couple of question marks. So there's potential to continue this line if this figure does become successful. I believe it will, but there's nothing on top, and because she's a cosplayer and not an official figure of anybody, she doesn't need any branding. So let's get her out of the box, and we'll also get the accessory pack, which is a cosplay pack, and we'll have a look at the figure itself. Right, there we go. As you can see, this package is fully loaded. Now, the box itself was just over 7 inches high, so this is packed in there with stuff. There was a tray underneath with the figure base, but this actually has 2 figure stands on the base for various effect pieces and also other attachments. That's because you can use all these extra pieces with it. Swoosh effects. There's 2 of those. And there are some see-through small peg attachments. I'll just move them out of the way as I show them. And I'll bring those out. And these obviously will help the figure in action poses. And we'll do a gallery of poses and the uses of the accessories in another video. I will show these. These are the smallest wrist pegs and neck peg or wrist peg attachments I've ever seen, and never ever want to remove them out of the packaging. So that's the first and only time you'll see these. If I don't use them on the figure as is, I am not going to use them. The carpet monster will just eat them alive. And, oh, there we go. See, straight away one fell out of the packaging, and it is tiny. I will just show that how small it actually is. That is tiny. If you lose it, you will never find it ever again. So small. So yes, this is going straight back in its packaging. As soon as this video is done, I'll put it where I can find it. And we'll move on to this little accessory. This little ducky. Now, if you're wondering what the duck is for, it's actually because this Quinn Lee figure has posable eyes. And you can actually use the pin of this duck to take off the back of the head and actually reposition each eyeball independently. So that's a great accessory, and I've never seen posable eyes on a 1/12 scale before. So again, another innovation. The effect pieces here, that's an impact effect. Really nice translucency. So again, that can be mounted using the figure stand as a posable, tiltable effect. And it can then double with another figure as, again, posable from the back, but an impact after effect. So you can put a figure between the two and have the impact first, then the figure, then the after effect. So you can get some great, action effects with this. Remind me obviously of the Tamashii Nations effect pieces that I've found around on Amazon and eBay and places like that. So it's nice to have these actually in box with a figure. I've not had a figure before with impact effects. You just have usually the fireball or the swoosh effect, but not actually anything that dedicatedly shows action. So okay, your swoosh effect you can count as that. All the spinning bird kick and all that kind of things on Chun Li, but very small hands. I'll show the hands that we've got on these. Very small. Victory pose. Obviously she's a cosplayer, so she will do the victory pose of a cosplay inspired character. And we have the hands there as well. Open hands. Very small. Very small. Needs to go back in the packaging. Go back in the packaging. Very wide splayed hands. I've never held figure. Oop, there we go. Straight away I'm dropping them. So I've never held figure hands so small before. They are really small. There you go. And that one there. The chopping hand or striking hand. And I'll bring the figure forward and we can have a look as she is. Right there. So as you can clearly see, there's a very pale skin tone in the import style, the SH Figure Arts or Mafax. She's clearly well defined as a figure. Very large legs. Street Fighter Alpha 3 style, which I think this is the competition with the upcoming Storm Arena Chun Li, and the also Jada Toys are doing that license as well. So this is competition, and from what I've seen so far, yes, it's twice the price, but this is a Storm and Jada killer. This figure is out of the box just phenomenal looking. Bicep tone is strong. Wrist pegs are obviously going to be tiny, but the legs are well developed. So let's do some poses with her so we can get into a above T pose. This is fresh out of the box, so I've got to be really careful how I do on that. So that's really good. Okay. Arm flexibility is really good. Really good on that. Head. Wow, head will go all the way forward. Can she look up? Oh, the hair's in the way. Now you can actually move ponytails as well, so they are positionable. So you can have an action shot using the figure stand with her. So can she look up? Yes. She can look up huge. Obviously it is the hair that's in the way, but in this case the hair will not be in the way in any way, shape or form, and you can actually take them off. They are positionable, and that will come into play later with the Street Fighter cosplay set. Again, it's new out of the box, so I'm being very careful. I'm not, in fact, Can I put that back on? Please, 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 please. Yep, that goes back on. So that's lovely. So she can look up. Oh, no, that's coming off. Okay, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. I'm not going to mess with it. I'll look at it later. Wow. Huge head tilt. Okay, that's come off the peg. Oh, everything's coming away. Right, okay. Now, I will stress this is not broken. This is just fresh out of the packaging. So, I've just got to be careful with it. Ooh, no, make sure the peg is central first before we start pushing it down. Right, okay. Ah, there you go, much better. Oh, disaster averted. So yeah, we've got wrist twist and wrist bend. Oh, that's great. That is fantastic. Oh, look at that. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic on that one. Yep. So I'm just going to take this quickly out of shot and put the hair back. Well, that was momentary. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yep. So super duper on that. Really impressed with that so far. Now let's have a look. Let's move our arms out of the way and see if we can get the legs. Wow. Straight away. Bang. Look at that. That is just insane. There you go. Storm Arena. Jada. Beat that. Even the feet are off the floor. There's so much flexibility. Yep. Proof is in the pudding, as they say. Beat that, Jada. Beat that, Storm. This is your competition. It may be an import figure, but this is a Street Fighter Alpha 3 style cosplayer. So you've got competition. Can she? Wow, look at that. Look at that. That is just... And further back as well, so she can kick her own back. Brilliant. The knee doesn't look ugly. Nicely formed. And again, the knee joint, when it's in position, just brilliantly hidden. Just look at that. Hidden so well. So well. Really like that. But how far forward can it go? Does she have drop down hips? No, I can't feel a drop down hip. But okay. Down with that. Yep. As I said, this is going to be a Chun Li Alpha 3 killer. Look at that flexibility. Absolutely brilliant. Tiltable foot. Can we go? Yeah, okay, yep. Wow. Wow, look at that. That is brilliant. Yep, toe all the way back, so brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Really impressed with that. So what this figure can also do is you can actually change her top out to a fabric top. You can, that means obviously get the character topless. I will pause there very quickly and change it for the fabric top. And there we are in a fabric top. Now, the plastic tube top, in my opinion, is a better option because, you know, it's for novelty as much as the fabric top is there. It really isn't very practical. The shoulders on the top just drop into any joint. you kind of have to tilt it forward to cover the underboob. You know, it's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's not. It's a nice accessory to have. It's a nice option to have. But for me, it's really no. It would have been better as a plastic overpiece. You know, that is the better option. The soft plastic is the better option. Nice idea, yes. For all you pervs out there, she does have a very light pink coloured nipple area. You don't really need to see on camera, but she doesn't really fit into the top that well. There you go, that's enough, some underboob for you pervs. But what you're really here to see is the accessory pack. So let's pause again and we'll put her in the Street Fighter Alpha 3 cosplay set. Just before I change the torso, actually, I just want to bring this figure back into shot to show you this. That is a Jada and a Storm killer. Look at the flexibility on that. That is insane. The torso goes completely over. The legs and abs crunch. That is just nuts. Brilliantly done. Right, let's straighten her up. Easily enough done. Head up. And we'll quickly put the new torso on. Right, so here's the accessory pack. Now, as I said, it is an accessory pack. You have to either purchase it separately or find it as a retailer incentive. But it does plug directly into the legs, so we'll just put those there and I'll show you what you get. First is the upper part of this, which is, I'm going to lay that down so it doesn't bring up the face. So you get a clear Street Fighter Alpha 3 cosplay shouting head with the torso detail there. Let's bring that around. And also you can change the hair buns. I won't do that on camera right now, but again, high tiltable head. Buries the head. A lot of tilt. Just fantastic. And also it comes with a mid-torso piece, so you can trade Chun Li's torso to have the full costume. So that can go into there. Just okay, this is going to take a little bit of doing because it's right out of the box. So I'm going to be really careful how I do that. So let me do that off camera. Oh, just a touch, easy peasy. Right, okay, just want to make sure I wasn't pressing down on the peg. As you can see there. And then we'll take the arms from this one, like that, and like that. Now we'll take the wrist pegs out. You know, I'm going to not mess with the wrist pegs on camera. I'll have to be honest, you'll have to take my word for it that these accessory pieces, tiny as they are going to fit on the wrists. And I'll show them in a photograph off camera, and I'll bring that insert. And we've got a blue torso or replacement peg as well, spare peg. Well, we can also replace the hair buns for the Street Fighter 2 look. They'll obviously be movable, so you can do action poses with these. And that way, let me do this off camera again just very quickly, just so you know, I'll do it for the first time very quickly. Well, are they going to go in just straight away? Okay. Right. Just have an issue with the shoulder position of one of these. Are you in? Are you in? You're in. There we go. Street Fighter Cosplay Alpha 3 Chun Li. And again, fully posable. Oh, an arm fell out. That's just... I see the shoulder peg is buried, so I've got to be really careful with these. I don't want to mess this up on camera. First time. It's not like the bootleg figures. I just want to be super careful with these. They're not heated up at the moment, so I don't want them getting damaged. So I'll keep that as a vanilla pose for the moment. Yep, that's not in. And I don't want to waste review time on that. Ah, there you go. Right, okay. So yeah, that's the costume set. Again, changeable torso, so you can have the bare midriff with the Street Fighter top if you want that. But this is absolutely a knockout figure. You might consider the head sculpt is a little bit soft. I just consider it as an import face, really. But you have got movable eyes, and I will demonstrate those in another video. So let's do a very quick comparison. We'll bring in another figure. Bring in what I consider to be the best of the best, which is Chun Li. I don't have figure stands available for these, so come on, stand up. There we go. And oh, she's fallen over. Oh. I'll bring in this one. Now this is Chun Li from the Power Rangers Phoenix Force crossover. So there you go. Now I do not like this figure one bit. Don't like it at all, but she does have fantastic effect pieces. So I'm going to cheat and use the effect pieces for one of these two figures. So let me actually show you what I mean. Now this is obviously the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 kick effect. So we've got that there. Let's move these back into shot a little bit better. I'm risking Chun Li falling over. Right, okay, and we've got Quinn Lee here with her blast effects. Now you're going to have to come a little bit further back. A blast effects there. But also with this Chun Li, she has 3 effects. She has a Fire Phoenix. You can actually stand up there like a Blaster Phoenix. But she also comes with a pretty decent fireball. Look at that. Yeah. So because Street Fighter 2 Chun Li didn't come with a fireball effect, I can't recollect the name of it, but it's something like Xcocann or something like that. You'll correct me in the comments, I'm sure. But it comes with that. But also, she has the best kick effect. Look at that. 5-point kick effect. Or 4-point even, not even counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. A 4-point kick effect, not a 3. So, Chun-Li's foot goes into this one, and you've got an over-exaggeration. So I thought this was worth buying with the fireball effect. Forgetting this one, which I'm not a fan of, but using it for the Street Fighter 2, never knowing that we'd have another contender and quite possibly the best figure. So that is what we've got for her. So there's my Chun-Li comparison video at the moment. We've not got the Storm Arena figure yet, or the Street Fighter Alpha 3 from Jada, but this is what we do have. So let's just quickly put those out of the way and wrap up this video. And we'll simply say this is the Street Fighter Alpha 3 figure for me that beats all of them. Even though they're not even released yet, the competition is there. Just need to work on making sure that these joints are heated before I start messing around with them and in position, because there's a little bit of as you can see from the shoulder, they don't go directly in, they kind of go down. So these import figures are a bit of a learning curve straight out of the box, but you know, they are clearly the best articulated, and the posing is second to none. But, yeah, so we'll do another video on this figure of the effect pieces in place, and we'll have a fighting in one of the other Chun-Li's, or a Ken, Street Fighter Alpha 3 from the same game, and we'll do a size comparison with Ken and Ryu as well. Yeah, so this is the end of the review, basically. So thanks for watching. Hope you've stuck around and seen the potential of this figure and the fact that this is, in my opinion, the best Chun-Li. Thanks for watching. Take care. Please share, like and subscribe.